everybody. Welcome back to UncutAlly. My name is Allie.
My name's Chris. Welcome back to...
No, you go.
You go.
You go.
Sipping shows.
Sipping shows. Oh, it's so fun. Oh, it's so fun. Okay. Where we sip on some drinks. No. You're supposed to finish the phrase.
And sip on some shows.
Yeah. I am having grapefruit bubbly since, according to Chris, it was the only one left in the store.
I can confirm that. It's true. I'm having Baja Blast.
It's not too bad. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good.
What's your favorite?
Lime.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
What's your favorite? Kidding. Chris doesn't like seltzer very much.
This is a good episode, everybody.
Yeah, so we're talking about the 8th episode of Rick and Morty, season 5, Rickternal Sunshine of Mort or some shit. It's a play on Eternal Sunshine of I think, Spotless Mind. I think that's the name of the movie.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
That's okay. So anyway.
But it's good because I've had a few episodes where I'm like, this one I liked a lot.
Yeah, Chris and I both were very happy about this episode. It felt like a classic Rick and Morty episode. And there was no family because we open and the Smiths, I guess he's not a Smith. What is Rick's last name? Sanchez. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Because he's not a Smith. All the Smiths, the 4 humans.
Thank you.
They are going on a cruise. And
I want to do a cruise.
We should do a cruise.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
My family wants to do a cruise. Your family wants to do a cruise. We're going to do a giant-ass cruise.
Big cruise.
Come on the cruise. We're going to have an UncutAlly cruise. Anyway, so Beth's like, don't do anything bad. Emergency numbers on the fridge. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? She's like, they say that in movies. I don't actually know what it means.
Did you have emergency numbers on the fridge?
No. Did you?
Yeah.
Were you babysat?
I had numbers for different people I could call. No, I was by myself.
Well, my brother was there.
Yeah.
I was born with a natural babysitter.
That's convenient.
Or my grandparents were there. I used to have a little piece of paper that had my mom's 2 numbers, and I would dial them together. I thought it was all one big number, so it was her work number and her cell number.
And you're like, why is she picking up?
No, so what I would do is I would type the work number, and then I would type the cell number, but it always worked. Because back in the day, the phones would automatically call once you finished typing the first number.
You're right.
So even though I kept pressing numbers, it had already automatically called her work phone number. Oh my God. For probably months, I only remember from the time that she was like, why are you pressing buttons? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, is that why I've heard buttons every time you fucking call me? Because you're typing in my other number over it. So.
I love that.
It was fun. And it was in my handwriting too, I think. That note. I remember it because it was like a phone on the wall, kind of.
Yeah.
Or it was one of the not on the wall, but an old phone. It had the little hang up place in it. And I think it was corded. And it was in this place where I would stand up and say it. It was in our hallway. Yeah. That brought me back.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
That is hilarious.
I was a little stupid. I didn't know. She just call this number when whenever you want to call me. So I called the number.
Holy fuck.
So long.
I love that.
Anyway.
Love that.
Back to the show. So Beth's like, there's a number on the fridge. I don't know why I said that. They say in the movies. Rick's like, Morty's, you sure you don't want to come? Rick goes, nah. The longer you're here, the higher the probability of me doing a pickle Rick. So then they leave. And then Rick pours himself a drink. Excuse me. It's very buble.
It is.
Pours himself a drink. Puts on... Oh, that's what you were doing. You were sipping. And then he puts the record on, and then his garage starts talking about the AI in his garage.
It's a new character, the AI in his garage.
She's a bad bitch. I love her.
She's got sass.
She's very sassy. She's his counterpart. I like their play on each other. So she's like, best friend rejuvenation sequence commencing. He's like, did I fucking call it that? She's like, no, you didn't think of a name. Do you want to think of a name? And then she's like, pause. Pause intensifies. Pause pregnancy. She's like fucking with him. But anyway, best friend rejuvenation. He still remember fucking season or 2 ago.
It's Phoenix person.
Bird person. Fuck Phoenix person. We don't talk about Phoenix person.
Okay.
He has bird person. Well, I guess he's still Phoenix person because he has all his robot parts.
He converts Phoenix person back into bird person.
Yeah. So that's his job. And then and then we come back and he took all of the robot shit off of Phoenix person. He's bird person again.
Bird person. Which side note, I don't know how, because like you looked at the parts of Phoenix person, it was like almost all robot.
Yeah.
He must have had the bird person parts somewhere or something.
Where did he take them from the wedding? Because that's when he died.
Yeah. Who knows? It's weird.
Because they were like his parts. Maybe
he looked great.
I mean, it is Rick, so he could probably like
just that costume shop that we always talk about.
Yeah, it's all a costume. So anyway, he starts him up and he like comes alive. Then he dies again, and Rick's like, what happened? So the garage is like, oh, he's missing something in his brain. He's missing something in his mind. His mind. He's like, what does that mean? And they have banter, and then she's like, basically, his conscious mind is in his unconscious mind. So what Rick has to do is go in and get him out of his unconscious mind.
I love when Rick goes into things. Like one of my favorite episodes is the
theme park?
The theme park inside the man.
The homeless man?
Yes, I love that episode.
That's a fun one.
Anatomy Park. Just want to say something funny that I noticed, because I'm me. When Rick was going through like his cabinets for shit, there's just VR goggles sitting in there like collecting dust.
Oh my god, there were!
Yeah, just funny.
Well, that's a play on, because Trover. Justin Roiland's game.
Yeah, like Justin Roiland loves VR, but it's just funny because like it's kind of true.
For those who don't know, Trover Saves the Universe is the creator and voice actor of Rick and Morty. Justin Roiland.
His game studio.
His game.
Yeah.
Well, no, Trover Saves the Universe is his game.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, Rick goes in him.
Squanch Games.
And the garage is like, don't do it. You know, the risk level is unacceptable. And because she doesn't want to die. And she's worried that without him, she's not going to have anybody to take care of her AI. So anyway, he goes into the brain. And it's like an acid trip in the beginning. He loses his clothes.
It was insane. That was so cool.
I was hoping
artistic
that the entire episode was just going to be like a sick ass acid trip of chasing bird person. That would like I like that. So they do a memory thing, as we'll get into, but I feel like if they did that plus an acid trip, it was like all of his, because it started with like an egg, so I thought it was like a play on he's a bird, so he hatched.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought they were going to keep it with like this cool, super artsy
sick.
Fucking like acid trip.
Feels like an acid trip in Rick and Morty can't last longer than like 30 seconds.
Too long. They know everybody's stoned. They're like, we can't do this. Anyway, so he's gone through the acid trip a little bit, and then he lands upon them in their first meeting. So they're at Birding Manapalooza Festival.
It's like Lollapalooza, everybody.
And Burning Man.
And Burning Man. For birds.
Okay, California woman. So
Rick had cool hair back then.
He did. He had longer hair. He was kind of the same, just a little more excited about things.
Yeah, he seemed to be more optimistic on life.
Yeah, a little less cynical.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he's doing some illegal drug shit, and Bird Person comes over and he's like, I hear you have this illegal substance. He's like, yeah, you want some? He's like, yes. So they're like, what's your name? He's like, my culture does not believes names are cages. But my friends call me Bird Person. He's like, damn, culture fucked you. So then
Affirmative.
Rick is going through the memories, and they get to like a weird Star Wars shootout, which is cool. They were shooting other sci-fi Ricks, and they were like, killing us won't bring her back. Remember that. I'm making connections that like they didn't say are connections, but are definitely connections. So then he goes through, and they're at like a Rebels meeting where it's him, Bird Person. Is Squanchy at that meeting? Because Squanchy's there later on.
He's at that meeting. I love Squanch.
We love Squanch. They're just talking about like they're gonna do war on the Federation. Do war. Is that right? Do war. Fight? I don't know.
Partake in a war. Partake in a war?
I'll take it.
They're gonna battle.
They gonna fight. So then Memory Rick, because our Rick is watching the memories of him and Bird Person. So there's like a Memory Rick. Memory Rick sees our Rick and is like, huh. Hello. No, he doesn't say hello. I don't remember what he says. But he says something along the lines of like, if you know me, you know some bullshit where it's like, I recognize you're me, but also I'm threatening you.
Yeah.
So then Rick puts a bucket on his head and throws him in a storage container.
He said he was 35.
He is 35.
In that instance, which is pretty cool. Because like that means Rick has been like a mad genius scientist for a long time, you know? Because like now he's a grandfather. His whole life. I thought it was like a later in life thing.
You don't become a mad genius later in life.
Yeah, I guess so. It's cool. I just didn't think about that. Like I thought like when does he become the mad genius?
Someone you know has been a mad genius since he was 17.
You?
I've been a mad genius since I was born. Let's start there.
Yeah, that's true.
So, before he puts the bucket on his head, Memory Rick's like, if I'm a memory, would I be able to do this? He does his portal gun, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's like a wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, because it's only Bird Person's memories. He's like, Bird Person doesn't know. He only knows that you shoot green holes. He doesn't know where they go. So they don't go anywhere. And then Rick assembles like a tracker to track the real BP. Bird Person, for those who don't know.
BP.
And then they mentioned, that's the first time Blood Ridge is mentioned. It's the war that they're going to go through against the Federation. So we know that Blood Ridge is a thing at this point. We know nothing else about it.
Yeah.
Then we cut to a scene where the real Bird Person is looking over a memory of him and Tammy on a date, and Tammy being gross and sexual as Tammy was.
It's sad because he loves Tammy.
He really loves Tammy. And the saddest part about it is like throughout this entire sequence, like all of the memories of her, even the semi-evil ones, they're still together. Like the evil ones, she's on Phoenix Person's back, you know, like he genuinely loved her.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. And it really makes you question whether she loved him. Even a little bit. Even if that, like, her mission was to use him to get to Rick for the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. That just connected even more. They've been at war with the Federation for like 40 fucking years.
That's insane, right?
And he just like... That's why they would infiltrate somebody that far in. Because those two literally won a war against them.
Yeah, that's a good point. What I love about this episode is it's like actual stuff that is canon, like as much as it can be, and I've missed like actual stories. I'm just like sick of like being like, wow, I get everything makes sense, and then it's like, oh wait, that was like all a dream, or like whatever. You know what I mean?
More like less one-offy shit.
Yeah.
That overwrites some things. Yeah, I get. Like I really love that they delved into this like side story that is actually such a main component of both of their lives.
Yeah.
Of everyone's life. I mean, Tammy and Summer were friends for a while.
She went to high school for 2 years.
She did. She did go to high school for 2 years. We find that out.
Yeah.
So then we go to historic childhood before that. Rick sees the real Bird Person overlooking this date memory, and he's like, I need to get you out of here. Like, you're going to die. And he flies away. So then he starts following
As you
him,
do.
and they go to Historic Childhood Trauma Town. That's the name of it. It said
I didn't see that.
Yeah, on one of the buildings, it says Historic Childhood Trauma Town, and that's where you see like a bunch of bird people being killed by the Federation, which is Bird Person's backstory of why he wants to wage a war on the Federation.
Yeah.
And that's why in the shootout scene where they're shooting other Ricks, Rick is like, we deal with my shit, then we'll deal with your shit. It was both of them helping each other deal with their trauma and get revenge on those who've wronged them.
Mm-hmm.
So then Bird Person's like, oh my God, is that Rick Sanchez? Because in his memory, Federation hates Rick even more than Bird Person. So they're like, oh, fuck that guy, he's bad. But then Memory Rick saves the day with his portal-less portal gun. Because then it just ricochets all the bullets back and they all blow up and die.
That's pretty cool.
So Rick's like, all right, your benefits outweigh your benefit cost value, just whatever. You have more benefits than costs.
Yeah.
So then
Rick's friends with himself. Cute.
So we cut back to their bodies in the garage, and they're foaming out the mouth, and the garage is getting frantic. She's like, oh, fuck, this doesn't look good. So then a neighbor walks by, and she's like, hi, how are you? And she becomes friends with the neighbor, and she's like, wow, we're best friends. Best friends. And he's like, whoa, let's go move a little fast. She's like, tell me about all of your energy-saving products. Do you have batteries? Do you have solar panels?
Neighbor's my favorite.
Do you know basic engineering?
Isn't that Gene? I think it's Gene.
That felt like Gene.
I think that's Gene.
Did you get it?
What?
That felt like Gene. That was the quote.
From what?
When he ran over.
Yeah.
That felt like Gene.
I think it is actually Gene.
It might have been Gene.
I love the neighbors. I said before I wanted to see more neighbors.
It's all Gene. Gene's their only neighbor.
This is great.
What if it's all Federation? Is Gene part of the Federation?
No, he's too sweet.
Did he not see two guys like tweaking out in the fucking garage?
I don't know why I didn't care about that. Gene's a little psychotic. Gene wants a girlfriend.
Fucking Gene. Don't you want a robot girlfriend? So then, a commercial break, then we cut back to the memories, and Rick is telling Memory Rick about Shrek. They don't name drop it, but he's like, they made 4 movies about a Scottish green ogre. And he's like, 5 at this point. Morty loves them.
Of course
and he's like, Morty? So then Memory Rick doesn't know Morty because he didn't have a grandchild at this time.
Yeah.
So very fucking canon insane shit. Morty, what's his name? Rick goes, oh yeah, that's our hypothetical grandchild. And he's like, oh, so you're one of those Ricks who, I wrote down the quote. You're one of those creeps who moves in with abandoned adult Beths. He's like, it's not like that. And then Memory Rick's like, it's not like that. Your daughter, you're living with a version of your dead daughter. Our Rick, apparently a bunch of Ricks, have a dead Beth in their world. And a bunch of them go to, I assume there are just other universes where Rick never comes back after abandoning them.
Yeah.
So they shack up with that Beth to be with her. So they have a Beth because they couldn't handle dealing with their dead daughter. Man. Which connects back to the beginning of this episode when they're like, killing us won't bring her back. So it seems like a bunch of Ricks probably killed a bunch of Beths.
Oh no.
Which I hope we delve deeper into because I want to know what the fuck happened in that.
This is insane.
So that's a big plot point that I don't think have ever known.
No.
Like I don't think they've ever brought that up.
And that's just a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A lot of canon real stuff.
So my other question is, what about... So he also abandoned a version of his Beth, though.
Yeah.
Back in season 1? When they all turn into what are they called?
Oh yeah.
Cephalopods?
Gazorp.
No, that's a Gazorpazorp field.
The like flu virus thing, right?
Yes, when they all turn into Cronenbergs, thank you. Together we make up words.
Yeah.
When they all turn into Cronenbergs, except for Summer, Beth, Jerry, Morty, and Rick, but Morty and Rick left and went to a universe where Rick and Morty died and replaced them. So this is technically his third Beth.
He's just got to keep having
his Beth died.
Yeah.
He abandoned the one that lived in Cronenberg world after he made everybody into Cronenbergs. And I think, didn't they kill them? Didn't they end up having to kill them? There was an episode where they went back.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they killed them.
I mean, that would make sense.
Because they went a little crazy. And then, now this is his fucking third Beth? Fourth if you count the clone he made.
Yeah, who knows? So,
fucking Rick, man. Anyway, that was a big point that we needed to discuss.
Yeah, that's wild stuff.
One of the biggest points.
This episode's great. Love it.
So then we go, what happens?
Next note I have is about the Federation suppressing memories, but maybe I'm skipping ahead.
You're one ahead of me.
Okay.
So then Rick, one of the Ricks, brings up Blood Ridge again, and he's like, Rick says how Blood Ridge goes bad. So Memory Rick gets excited. He's like, oh my God, it's our Vietnam. It goes bad, you know? And he gets excited about it. So at this point, you're thinking, oh, they lose or something goes wrong, which, like, it would make sense to lose because the Federation's still around and still trying to kill them.
Right.
So then we go to, like, this blood crystal-looking tree, and it's the memories that the Federation suppressed when they made him into Phoenix Person.
Wait, the tree's that?
Well, when they went in the tree, there was like a staircase up and down.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the down one led to those memories.
Mm.
So then he goes, where did Memory Rick go?
He said we're splitting up now.
Right. Because one of them led to something cool. So they split. I don't know. They just split up.
You gotta split up sometimes.
Sometimes you gotta split up. Sometimes you gotta Scooby-Doo it and split up.
Yeah.
So Rick goes into one, like the core ones, and there's our bird person, and he's making a little rage bomb. It's like a faucet filled with rage. And Rick's like, come on, buddy. I'd support you if you joined Scientology at this point. This is ridiculous. He's like, you know, I'm coming here to end it all, Rick. I don't want to live. So then Rick unplugs the rage bomb. And he's like, you thought this was going to do it? And he's like, no. You see, he has rage bombs all over. Everywhere. And he blows them. He's like, you were a good friend, Rick. Goodbye. And then he flies away as he's blowing up his brain.
Good thing he can fly. It makes it easy.
It does. For him. Not for Rick. Rick's having a tough time with the legs thing. So then they're going through a bunch of the Federation suppressed memories. Only really one of them is super important. There's a baby. And it's like, it looks like a bird human baby. It's like squawking and crying.
Yeah.
So on first glance, I thought that was bird person. Like it's all of his memories. And that was just him as a baby.
Right.
And it looks weird. But knowing something later on, and also just like context clues of it, if the Federation suppressed it, why would they suppress him being a baby?
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. Also, like, I don't think he was born in the Federation, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, that was like at a Federation place.
Oh, yeah, like the walls were a Federation place. Like, you can tell it's all chrome and robotic-y and everything.
Beep boop pop. You know, Bird Person was just a good old bird person in Birdville or whatever the heck, who knows.
In historic childhood trauma town.
Yes, that's where we grew up.
That's where we all did.
Yep.
So then they're going through it, and remember Rick's like, oh my God. And he's like, we don't have time to unpack that. It's not important right now. But remember it. So then we get to a scene from the battle that Phoenix Person and Rick had in the last episode that we saw Phoenix Person, where they killed Tammy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Clone Beth.
Girl.
No, it was Clone Beth's episode.
That's wild.
Because remember, she was like, "Oh, I'll just take them both." She came for one Beth.
Yeah.
Right, because Rick wasn't a threat anymore. It was Space Beth that was the real threat that they were looking for. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he's like, I gotta do something first. So they go to that scene, and it's the actual scene that happened. And then he kills Bird Person, and he asks for that Rick, that memory Rick, not the young memory Rick we've been traveling with, for his clothes. I didn't get why at first, but then I realized why. So he steals his clothes, and then they're running through all the memories. It seems like the memories started attacking Rick, but they couldn't cut through the clothing. I don't know if you noticed that, but one of the birds was like clawing at Rick.
Yeah.
And it did nothing.
Huh.
So I think because the clothes are memory clothes, it's invincible. Because memory Rick is invincible. So I think he stole the clothes from a different memory Rick so that he would be invincible.
Good thing it matched his style.
Good thing he hasn't changed his style in a while.
Yes, he's had the same shirt on for years.
Yep.
It's great.
So then we finally get to it. Blood Ridge. Which I want to name myself that. I'm changing my name to Blood Ridge.
That's cool.
That's a sick fucking name. Like, that's like a Skyrim name.
Yeah. It's like, a cool battle name.
Blood Ridge Manor, or like Blood Ridge Cave.
Yeah.
Blood Ridge Point. I want a whole storyline of Blood Ridge.
Squanchy was there.
Squanchy was there! So they're in their little ship, and they're all in like some cool blaster uniforms, and then Rick and Memory Rick join, and they're like, don't mind us. So they go into battle, and they're all fighting. It's a sick-ass fight scene. Like, it's a cool battle scene.
It's cool. It has like the techno Rick and Morty music, 8-bit kind of shit going on. Thank you.
So Memory Rick is loving this. He's like, fuck yeah, it's our Vietnam. He's killing everybody. He's 35. He's having the time of his life. Yeah. By the way, if anything, this has shown you 35 is not fucking old. Everybody who's over 18 and is like, I'm an old man, you're not. You're young until you die. You're young until you die. Go with it.
I'll quote that. I like that.
Thanks. Not your mind. His mind was still collapsing, like, as we're going through all this, like, there's pieces falling through. Like, he blew up his mind. He's trying to die. He's very quickly falling apart. So you see, like, the ceiling, like, falling apart, which was my biggest fear as a child. I was always scared the sky was going to fall, and I wouldn't know what to do about it.
Oh, you're so cute.
It was a really big fear of mine. Anyway.
I was scared of the moon.
Chris was scared of the moon. You want to tell them why you're scared of the moon?
Had a face and it looked at me.
I love the face. It looks like a welcoming mother.
Like a scary alien to me as a kid.
Chris also has a fear of aliens.
Yeah, I walked up to bed like this because I didn't want to see out any windows.
Just close your fucking blind.
I had to close it without looking, so I had to.
Why didn't you do it before?
I always forget every day.
I hate him. Anyway, then the Bird Person and Rick in this memory during the battle. So, like, the battle scene, they were, like, badass. And they had this cool formation where Bird Person flew and lifted Rick, and they were facing opposite ways. So they were just like a circle of fucking bullets. And they did it. They fucking won. And Rick is like, you know, nothing matters, and I can take you to a universe where this happened and we lost, or this never happened, and but like, you know, let's just do this, like, let's go on adventures together. And he kind of is like professing that he's in love with him, and so basically, BP's like, if nothing matters, why did you do this? He's like, I guess you matter to me. Like, I respect you, and you matter to me, so I wanted to do this for you. Which, canon, he, like, as much as I love wholesome friendships, like, I don't know, I feel like he has feelings for Bird Person. Yeah. A little bit.
I mean, I don't know, the fucked up part is how long it took him to like, revive Bird Person. He was waiting for no one to be around. Like, it's been, like, years or whatever.
He's been fine. What's he been doing? Sleeping?
Yeah, it's funny.
So Rick professes his love, and Bird Person's like, our relationship is not like that. Basically rejects Rick. And that's why, I know, it's like really sad.
It's so sad.
Because Rick doesn't feel very often, but when he does, I'd say he feels pretty hard.
Yeah.
And like, he's pretty set. Like, once he loves you, he kind of doesn't stop loving you. Like, that's why he went to an abandoned Beth, you know? Like, that's why he loves his Morty and his Summer. And hates it, but he loves Jerry. And he loves Bird Person. Like, that is his best friend to the day. To that day. Like, after all of this, he still considers him his best friend. Over fucking Squanchy. Squanchy's the shit.
Come on.
Excuse me.
That's you.
This bubbly is bubbly.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, he gets really upset, and Bird Person's like, if you need me to use the beacon, and he's like, yeah, I'll fucking use it, asshole. And Memory Rick is upset. He's like, that's why it went bad. The battle was fine, but that fucking shit happened. Why are we saving that asshole? Rick's like, because you love him. He's like, I don't love him, but they love him.
Yeah.
So then we go to real BP again, and he's with Tammy, of course,
Why wouldn't he be?
in a treehouse.
Yeah.
And Rick's like, I need to get you out of here. Like, we're not doing this. BP's like, oh, did you team up with a memory of yourself? Because that's sad. And then Tammy's like, is this a good time to reveal that I'm an undercover agent? They're like, yeah. We know that. You're dead. She's like, well, my fiance remembers me as kind. So you're lucky. And
He remembers just enough that, like, she's, like, almost evil.
yeah. He's like, oh, she did that. But I love her.
Yeah.
All this is rooted in how much he actually loves Tammy.
Yeah, I know. It's so sweet.
So then Bird Person's like, you know, we don't get to choose the ones we love. I died the day that I was killed at my wedding. I haven't been alive. Like, I'm just waiting for it to finish its course. And Rick's like, yeah, I know we don't get to choose the fucking ones we love. Why am I saving your ass, you know?
Yeah.
And then Memory Rick's like, you gonna tell him? And he's like, I'm getting to it. So Rick tells him about their child, Operation blah, blah, blah. Because the Tammy in his memory would not know the name of the operation because he didn't know the name of the operation. Remember, these are all, other than our Rick, everything is just how Bird Person remembered it.
Yeah.
So it's not all 100% fact. It is definitely skewed in however he saw it. So like, I'm sure things are a little different, but for the most part,
He's got a good memory, I think.
he has a pretty good memory.
Like, even him being a dick to Rick and stuff, like, he could have remembered it differently, but I feel like he remembered it very accurately.
I feel like you know when you reject somebody.
I guess. Oof.
So then Rick's like, yeah, there's a half bird, half BP, half mega bitch out there in some Federation prison because his father's a terrorist, aka Bird Person. So Bird Person's like, I would like to live now. And I've decided it. So then a Federation Tammy comes. No, they start driving.
Yeah.
No, the Federation comes first.
Oh.
Federation starts coming, and they're trying to kill them, as they always are. So what happens? Rick needs a device. He's like, I hope you have a good memory because I need to find a device and it needs to be in your memory. So he's like, remember, have a memory when you were in my garage. So they go to the memory when Bird Person and Tammy are making out.
Yeah, on the first date.
So he goes through those drawers and like, this is what you remember? He pulls out a plumbus from the box. And then,
That's what I remember.
And then he pulls out the device he needs. Then like they're running from the Federation throughout this whole thing. Then we're at Gear Dude's funeral, who is different from Gearhead.
Yeah, Gear Dude was at the Battle of Bloodridge.
Yes, Gear Dude was at the Battle of Bloodridge, and he was a cool friend, and he died in the Battle of Bloodridge. So they were at his funeral, and it was Gearhead's older brother. And they're like, that's important because Gearhead was insufferable. You think we hung out with him for fun? No, we did it because his older brother died in the battle.
Yeah, that's so sweet of them. They didn't have to do that.
Gearhead's an asshole. He betrays them.
Gearhead is a dick. I love him, though. He's funny.
Here's my thing. Here's my question. Gearhead mentions that Gearhead is like calling somebody like human face, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Gear Dude, like, were those just their nicknames, or were they their actual names?
I know.
Or were they just like bros and like in a fraternity, like, Gear Dude,
Yeah,
and his name's like Phineas McGolligan.
Yeah, all the names start with Gear.
You know what I mean? Like, was it just like a friend guy type thing where it's like you just like I'm like, Chris Man, you know, like shit like that. I don't know. Either way, we're at Gear Dude's funeral because Rick, to build a bridge to get out of their memories, they need to go through his memories. But Rick, because his bird person's brain is falling apart, needs to merge them with his own memories that they would share to like bring about what they need to bring about.
Yeah.
So we're at Gearhead's funeral. It was sad. And he's like, all right, we need something that was like awful, a performance or something. And he's like, Squanchy's eulogy. He was like, nope, Squanchy's stand-up. And it was just like really bad, seemingly dirty joke.
This is great.
But it was just like, she really squanches, and then they come in.
That was great.
And
my favorite part.
The Rick in that memory goes, that was a memory all along. I didn't even have to sit through that stand-up. And then they go to they're back at the festival that they started at, and Bird Person, Squanchy and Rick are like, we're all drunk and we just met and we just started a band. And then
I want to meet drunk people and start a band.
If you want to start a band with us, let us know. I'm waiting. Did they put in their application?
Subscribe. I consider it an application.
If you're subscribed, you're automatically in our band.
Yeah.
So
welcome, bandmates.
Hello, humans.
It's another episode. What could happen?
And we're never saying that again.
Okay.
So then we're one of the Federation Tammys, Tammy in her wedding dress, is stopping them. They're about to get out. And then Memory Rick tackles her off, and he's like, remember me? And our Rick is like, no, we were even, goddammit, because now he owes him. So then there's a cool acid trip ending where, like, darkness is coming and about to encompass them. And then Bird Person takes Rick, and they fly out. And then we're in Bird Person's... first... Memory, because Tammy has been along. The Tammy, when they were at the treehouse, has been on this journey with them.
Yeah.
So then he's like, he says goodbye to her, and he calls her Tamantha, which I thought was hilarious. And she's like, I really did love you.
It's sad because like that's what he wants to think. Like it's like his brain's version of Tammy, but it was really wholesome.
So it makes you really think, like, is that actually how she felt? Yeah. Or did he just see her in that way, that she really loved him? I think it's the latter.
You don't think she loved him?
No.
Probably not.
I just feel like if you really genuinely love somebody...
Well, you wouldn't go through the mission,
you wouldn't kill them at your wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I have plans to murder you, but not at our wedding. Like, that's ridiculous,
It's a joke, by the way.
Uh-huh. Kidding. So then they fly out, and Bird Person says a really sweet thing. He says, thank you for not giving up on me. But they're about to die, so Rick's like, you can literally make it up to me right now. So then they fly out, and they're both in Bird Person's body. I love when animation does this, and they make a voice actor do two different characters in their person's voice, because you could hear the difference in inflection and words used. Yeah. Like, Bird Person's very, like, formal, almost like robot-y in how he speaks. But Rick is like, Rick. So it was just like, that was insane. He's like, oh, fuck, that was crazy. But it's the same voice. It's just different inflection.
That makes
You didn't
sense.
notice?
No, I just
they were
thought he was
talking
freaking
to
out.
each other in his head. He was like, holy shit. And then it's like, that was quite ridiculous. You know, like it was very, you could see the different counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched it first, I was like, God, Bird Person's losing it.
Yeah,
no, it was Rick and Bird Person both in Bird Person's conscious.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Since they were in his subconscious, they flew into his conscious because his subconscious was collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
So then Rick's like, hold on, let me get into my body. So then he goes into his own body and he's like, you want to go like have a drink basically? He's like, no, as you would say, I have some parenting shit to take care of. And then Rick like twitches. He's like, oh, I think Memory Rick ditched Tammy and got into my brain. And then
Memory Rick.
And this Bird Person's like, I have a question. Did you really almost not tell me about my child because I would be too busy child rearing to hang out? And he's super upset that he wasn't going to tell him about his child. He only did it to save himself and Bird Person. So he's like, I'll see you when I see you. Because he just rejects him. Like, everything. Rick's a narcissistic, God complex asshole. But, like, he does a lot for Bird Person.
Yeah, he saved his life.
And then he flies off. And then the neighbor from before comes by. And the garage is like, oh my God, what is that weirdo doing? What is he doing with all of his energy storage devices? Get out of here. And he's like, but I thought and she's like, no. And then there's just like silence. And she's like, disloyalty acknowledged. And he's like, nah, I get it. Because he would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
She also has this thing of offering to suck dicks to survive. Does she have a mouth?
No.
Would she be able to make one? She's all software. She's not hardware.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do?
I don't
Anyway.
know.
So we go to do. No. Did we go to...
Yeah. We did. And after that's when the...
No, because there's a scene with Rick and Memory Rick.
That's that after credit scene.
There's 2 after credit scenes?
There's only one. Wait, no, you're right. That's right before that.
Yeah, so before the after credits, Rick goes into his subconscious because we see child Rick and his babysitter's talking downstairs like,
room.
oh, I'm in only my underwear and I don't even care if the kid sees. So then he runs down and we see Memory Rick in that closet about to run down and our Rick's like, you're trying to live as a sentient memory. And he's like, yeah, you caught me. He's like, it's okay. You don't have to be an enemy because you exist. Which I love that quote. You don't have to be an enemy because you exist.
Yeah, that's a good quote.
And then he's like, you want to go grab a beer? He's like, gonna make him a real Rick. He's like, does being real mean I eventually become you? So Rick's like, yeah, probably. So Rick's like, ugh, maybe just remember us getting a beer. Because he doesn't want to be Rick. Rick's a mess. So then we have do. And we go to a Federation prison with all the violent prisoners. And we see a Tammy Bird Person child.
Yeah.
Has Tammy's haircut, which I don't think you inherit haircuts, but it's kind of the only way that animations know how to show that it's somebody's child.
That's true.
With like evil eyes and feathers and wings and shit. And
pretty scary.
she's a little creepy.
She's strong.
She's like, what, 3?
Something like that, maybe
She
less.
old. She's not old, actually.
Yeah.
So then one of the prisoners starts fucking with her. So she starts attacking it. And then the Federation agent's like, oh, you think it's probably a bad idea to put the violent ones all together? And they're like, we don't get paid to think Phil. Which I think is funny, because I'm pretty sure every time the Federation agents talk to each other, at least one of their names is Phil. Or I'm misremembering it. I just feel like they're always named Phil. Valid. I mean, everybody has the same name.
Yeah.
And that
was it.
That was the end of the episode. Is Bird Person going to free his daughter?
I hope so.
Are we going to see any of this all again? Who knows?
Probably not.
Maybe in 2 other seasons.
Yeah. Excited for the full hour-long season finale in next month.
When is it?
September 16th, I think.
Cool. We'll be back then.
Yeah.
No, TV, don't do it. Don't do it, TV. Oh, it didn't turn off our thing. Good. The only note, I forgot, I didn't make the connection outwardly. The baby in the Federation prison memory
Yeah.
was their baby. It wasn't Bird Person like we had initially thought.
Oh, right.
That it was the memory of Bird Person as a child. It was them finding out that Bird Person and Tammy had a child.
Yeah.
That's why they were like, holy shit. And it's like, we can't deal with that right now. That's when Rick found out that there was a child and decided not to tell him until it was to his advantage.
As Rick would do.
As Rick would do.
Yeah.
You have any other notes?
No, that was all my notes.
It was a good episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is definitely one of our shorter episodes, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah. I had fun.
Me too. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
Yes, I am also getting tired. It is about to be midnight.
Yes.
We have a busy day tomorrow.
I have a busy.
I'm going to Universal too.
Yeah, but I gotta wake up at 6.
That's your problem. You want to be good friends to people, not me. I don't have friends. Anyway. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day and a happy birthday. Really enjoyed this episode. Would highly recommend watching it.
Oh, yeah. Sippy so. Sip, sip, sip.
Love you. Bye.
Sippy sippers. Sip, sip, sip. Soup, 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 soup.